Hey everyone, it's the one and only magnificent bird, Beak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, I'm going to go over the number one reason as to why Ballerina is ultimately a box office bomb. So we're going to take a look at the numbers to see what it made on its opening weekend. And before we get started, I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe out there. And if you like the video, leave a like, leave a comment. And if you aren't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button if you feel like it. And turn on all notifications so you know the second I upload to YouTube. And if you want to share the video, that would be great too. If you do any of those things, that would be very much appreciated. Now, they have it titled on here From the World of John Wick Ballerina, but to make it shorter, I'm just going to call it Ballerina because that was the official title. So, here we go. The opening weekend for Ballerina domestically over 24 million and 26 million internationally for a worldwide total of over 50 million. So it made more than, as far as the opening weekend goes, it did make more than the first John Wick's opening weekend back in 2014, but you got to remember John Wick, the very first one, was made, I don't know the exact budget, but it was made a hell of a lot cheaper than what Ballerina's reported budget is. So, Ballerina's reported budget is anywhere from 80 to 90 million dollars. So, effectively, they would have to make 200 million on this just to break even, which this is not a great start. I'm not gonna lie. It's still a really fantastic movie. I absolutely loved it. But the numbers don't lie. It's not off to the greatest start. So, I'm not really going to go over the rest of the box office. This is primarily about Ballerina. And the number one reason as to why I think this ended up bombing. Damn, I can't talk today. So, whenever this movie comes out, I'm definitely going to add Ballerina to my movie collection. I can't wait to watch this again. It was a really great watch. So, my number one reason, and there could be multiple reasons for sure, but I'm only going to focus in on one possible reason as to why this movie is going to end up being a bomb at the box office. And the number one reason why I think this is going to be a bomb is because of Marvel and Disney. So, and The Last of Us Season 2 to an extent as well. So, let me explain, and once I explain, it'll make sense what I mean by that. So, for the last, 3, 4, 5 years or so with Marvel, how Marvel has been wanting to push movies or streaming series where there's a female character that just so happens to be in the lead, okay? And how Marvel and Disney has presented those female characters as badass, unstoppable, can't no man beat them, right? And they're better than all the men, okay? And I'm sure a lot of you knew exactly what I was talking about when I said Marvel and Disney. And you know what? Last of Us, because think about it, Last of Us Season 2, there's been, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch Last of Us Season 2 because I already knew the bullshit that was going to happen. So no reason for me to watch it. And Last of Us why is because Ellie, aka Bella Ramsey, is beating men that are like twice her size with no issues. And Marvel and Disney have conditioned people to think that if there's another company out here, it doesn't matter if it's Lionsgate, let me think of another company, Lionsgate, Paramount, whatever, you name it, any company outside of Marvel, Disney, if there's any movie or streaming series that just so happens to have a female character, Disney and Marvel have conditioned a lot of people to think, oh God, here we go. Another female character who's going to be unstoppable. She's going to be better than all the men. She's going to, she's going to be all that, right? She's going to be better than all the men. She's going to be totally unstoppable. She'll be able to beat the men with ease. And I think a lot of people assumed that that was going to be the case with Ballerina. And I do get that. I understand that. And that's why I said it's, I think, mainly due to Marvel and Disney warping people's mind and conditioning them to think, oh, great, another female who just happens to be in the lead who's going to kick all the men's asses. She's going to be badass. She's going to be unstoppable. She's going to be better than all the men and going to beat down men. She's going to beat down men that are twice her size with no problems, no issues, no consequences. Well, I can tell you from firsthand experience that Ballerina, trust me, Eve McCarro is not like that. No. No. She's not the boss female, ultimate badass who's going to beat all the men where she's not going to get punched. Oh, no. Eve McCarro, she gets her ass handed to her. Absolutely, and she has to cheat. She has to play dirty in order to get the upper hand just to skate by. Okay? And it's a shame that Ballerina fell victim because of this conditioning by people thanks to Marvel and Disney. Okay? And Last of Us Season 2, I'm going to throw that in there as well. So yeah, Eve McCarro, there's one point in the movie, spoiler alert, this is during her first assignment in that club that's mostly made out of ice, where she is on the ground and she is about to get killed, but however, she picks up her gun and shoots this guy. She shoots one of the people trying to kill her in the nuts. That's the only way she can get the upper hand in that situation. She is not kicking his ass immediately right from the word go, like Ray Palpatine would, or Carol Danvers would, or Ellie would. Eve McCarro, Anna de Armas, is what? I don't know how tall she is exactly, her height, but she's very short. And yet, people just assumed that they were going to do the same thing that has been done with Marvel movies for the last 4 or 5 years. But that is absolutely not the case. And it's a shame that Ballerina fell victim. Now, there could be many reasons. One reason could be people didn't ask for this movie, which could totally be a reason, but I'm not really going to go into that, as I don't think that's the number one reason. I think it's more so because of Marvel and Disney conditioning people into thinking that, oh great, Ballerina is just going to be another female boss type of character where she's easily going to dominate the men that are much stronger and bigger than her, which is not the case at all. Like I said, there's plenty of times where she could have gotten killed, where she gets her ass handed to her, but she has to adapt to the situation. She has to play dirty. She has to cheat in order to get the upper hand, or she'll get killed. Like I said, there's one scene in the movie where she shoots a guy in his nuts just so she can get the upper hand. Is that something John Wick has to do? No, because he don't have to do that. He doesn't have to resort to shit like that, right? Because he's a strong character. Even John Wick is kicking her ass when they fight. So like, but the thing about that is John Wick respects her from their previous encounter, and he's actually going easy on her. So it's a shame that Ballerina did fall victim to this, but that doesn't speak just because Ballerina is ultimately a box office failure at this point does not mean the quality of the movie is bad. No, it is a really well made movie, but people have that conditioning where they think that Eve McCarro is a badass boss female. You know, she's going to go in there and kick all the guys' asses easily. But that's definitely not the case. And I do get that because they just assume that thanks to Marvel, Disney, Last of Us Season 2. So, will I make any more Ballerina videos? Probably not. This is probably going to be the last one, but rest assured, I don't let this failure at the box office hinder my excitement. I still absolutely love this movie, and I'm looking forward to watching it again. And I will definitely be adding Ballerina to my movie collection when it comes out, for VOD, DVD, Blu-ray, all that stuff. I'll definitely be adding it to my movie collection for sure because I already have all 4 John Wick movies. I already have all 4 of the John Wick movies, so Ballerina's going to go right in there. Now, could they do, hell, if they did a Kane John Wick spin-off movie, I would look forward to that. I really love this world of John Wick. Hell, if they did a Kane spin-off movie, I'd be down for it. Hell, if they did a Bowery King, if they did a Bowery King spin-off movie with maybe Lawrence Fishburne, I would be down for that. That's how much I love this world. But with these numbers, I just don't see. They might just be like, well, let's hold off on the spin-offs, I don't know. But it's still a really good movie. But anyway, that's pretty much all I had to say on the subject. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say on this subject. I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for your continued support. And if you're new, welcome on in for the very first time. I'm glad to have your support and thank you for your time. And I am Buck Beak, and I'm going to go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye guys.